Hi, Alexandra.
Hi, Johnny. It's so nice to talk with you today.
Nice to talk to you as well.
Thank you. On Still Standing, you get to do a lot of different things from like horseback riding, playing hockey, falconry, canoeing. Do you have a favorite and have you done any of those before?
The whole idea of getting to do crazy, interesting things for the first time, you could add parasailing to that, driving a derby car. I got to go downhill mountain biking in car cross in the Yukon. It's a pretty tremendous thing to be able to do in one's career. As a comedian, I never thought I would be doing these kind of things. It's pretty remarkable. I'm a pretty lucky guy.
How do you find and decide the people that you want to interview and feature in each episode?
So we've got a great team of story producers and researchers who reach out to people in these communities, and also people write us. People submit their town, and they give a case as to why it would be a good town for still standing in the future, and we encourage that by all means. We've done several towns that have been suggested to us by fans who write in. So the first person we interview is always going to be um, somebody who knows a bit about the struggle. So they're going to set the table there. So that could be somebody who lost their job at the mine, could be uh, a mayor type of person, usually somebody older who's been there for a long time and can sort of set the table. And then there'll always be, you mentioned some of the crazy activities I get to do. There will always be somebody who can. Oh, I think we sort of call it the Johnny jumps in part of the episode, which usually involves me sort of doing something wacky or fun or exciting in the town.
How many days does it take to film each episode?
It used to be 5 days, and now it is six, which gives the crew uh, sort of a day off, but also extra time to set up the venue, especially now is where we sometimes go into larger communities. And so, maybe you got to set up 800 chairs in the hockey rink or something like that. And it gives me an extra day to work on for me and the writers to work on the set and for me to start memorizing the material, which we've just or season 11 is just airing, and I think in some ways my brain is trained to work on this job, and in some ways it's a bit quicker, but like I'm 12 years older than we when we shot the pilot, so sometimes I need feel like the extra day is a huge is a huge relief to me. Yeah.
I can't believe that you do that entire show, plus write and memorize a hilarious stand up show in only 5 or 6 days. That's incredible.
Well, thank you. And if you consider that the set, you're in any given episode of Still Standing, you're seeing me on stage for, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 minutes. But I'll usually do around 40 to 45. Um, so it's a lot to process.
On Murdoch Mysteries, when you guys are wearing that old fashioned clothing, it makes you look older. So when I looked back at the first season, I was like, oh my gosh, because you didn't have the constable hat on. You were just dressed very casually, t shirt, blue jeans. And I was like, you are so young. Holy cow. Didn't realize that from watching Murdoch Mysteries. I mean, Detective Watts looked about 30 when he started. And then I found out in real life he was just barely in his 20s.
Yeah, and yeah, that was something that Daniel, tried to went for. Like the stubble that he grew for and even his voice and his posture. I think he did that really well. Because yeah, he was like a kid. When we read the first when Watts shows up in the scripts, you think it's this sort of like older or content or odd guy, and then Daniel comes in, this young sort of fresh faced guy. But I think he did that quite well. He definitely came across older than he was.
Now, for Still Standing, I really enjoy the ones where you visit Indigenous towns. It's so informative. What kind of places are your favorites?
The season premiere of this season that is airing now, season 11, Osuyu's Indian Band in the Okanagan Valley in BC. That was that was a special episode. I think we had a great time, but also because it's like such a different part of Canada. It's Canada's only desert, and like by technical definition, it's not a desert. It's semi-arid shrubland or something like that. But if you go there, you're like, oh my God, I'm in desert. This feels more like um, California or Utah or Nevada or something like that. The geography, the rock formations, the plant life, it's remarkable. And then of course the story of the Osuyu's Indian Band, the OIB itself, is a great success story. What they managed to do there with their winery and vineyard, and how that sort of led to this full economic 180. um, it's a remarkable story, and Jane Stelkaya, who's like a band chief there and sort of matriarch of the town, is such a remarkable character. She's giving me these firsthand accounts of these conversations they had in the 60s and 70s of um, or even in the 50s of someone coming wanting to rent land to grow a vineyard, and they felt like the money that was offered wasn't really fair. And also, wait, why don't we try to do something like this ourselves? And she's giving me firsthand account of that. And then she's also taking us out on a horseback like historical tour of the area where you ride off into the hills. And she says, well, this is where our people thousands of years ago lived like this. And she's, maybe I shouldn't say her age, but like she's around 90. And the fact that she's doing this on horseback, sort of vocally, even there's 40 people on horseback around her, and she's giving these tours. It's unbelievable.
Now, like you said, this is your 11th season is now airing. How long do you want to continue doing this show?
Oh my God, don't ask me that. It's I tell you, it's a labor of love and a beast of burden. But I really do love doing it, and I think it's sort of enjoying a bit of a vibe now, since COVID, where a lot of Canadians began to overland travel within Canada rather than getting on airplanes to go overseas. And then, with the tariff situation and the elbows up, and I like your sweater, by the way. Um, but I think Canada is enjoying this something. It's just like a vibe. It's kind of a solidarity. It's positive, and I think sort of that's what this show has been about for a long time. So yeah, who knows how long we could go? Who knows before I like just fall over flat on my face.
Now, when do you film it? Is it when you're on hiatus from Murdoch Mysteries?
Yeah, it has changed. Like the schedule changes almost year to year. So it would traditionally, we would start before the Murdoch season began, and then there would be hiatuses where I could jump out and do 2 episodes here and there, and then we would get a few more after Murdoch wrapped. Um, I've had to reduce my amount of episodes I've been doing with Murdoch just because it just became too much. And then also the Murdoch, Murdoch is going very strong, and the order for episodes has increased. So, the last several years running, Murdoch's been ordered for 24 episodes. That's like 24-hour-long episodes. That's a heap of work, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it all.
Oh, whenever I see Murdoch Mysteries and you're not there, I'm so disappointed not to see George because he's definitely one of my favorites. Him and Detective Watts, if they're not there, I'm like, oh, what's happening here?
Well, I'll take that as a compliment, and I appreciate it. I mean that show has been very good to me for a very long time, and I think I was really lucky that Crabtree. Uh, I mean, that's kind of in my wheelhouse as an actor. I think it was a good fit for me. So to have my first long running national exposure show to be in a role that sort of suited my toolkit was very fortunate.
But you will stay with Murdoch Mysteries as long as it continues, right?
Like we'll see. I mean, Murdoch Mysteries could outlive me for all we know, could outlive all of us. It shows no signs of slowing down. And why would it? The writers have done an incredible job of somehow not getting repetitive, and it it still gets the numbers, and it's still, the writers do a great job of sort of constantly these evolving character story arcs over the long term. Yet every episode is still you're still going to have your tight classic murder mystery. So as long as they can do that, as long as Yannick still has the stamina for it. Every time I speak to Christina Jennings, who's the head of Shaftesbury, who produced Murdoch Mysteries, she's yeah. I don't think they have any plans of slowing down anytime soon.
I want to thank you so much for all you do to keep Canadian audiences entertained and for taking the time to chat with me today.
Well, thanks for having me on, Alexandra. I'm glad you're a fan of both of the shows.